life seems risky, but it's the only way left to escape. Mama keeps saying she'll miss me, can't blame her for all my hate. Keep me drinking this whiskey until the day that I'm laying in my grave. I'm telling you, man, you know this real shit's hard. Work a full-time job, I still live with my mom. Breaking my back, trying to save up a stack. But every time I go forward, man, I just go back. I need new strings and the homies in jail. I put money on his books, but he's still gonna fail. Kids are more tired and it's half past due. I don't like to spend cash if I know I'm gonna lose. I got no time like you seem to do. I'd rather spend my money, get my kids some shoes. I've made mistakes just like we all do. It's time to pay for my crimes, man, I'll pay my dues. Keep me drinking this whiskey, leave my head banging like an 808. Living this life seems risky, but it's the only way left to escape. Mama keeps saying she'll miss me, can't blame her for all my hate. Keep me drinking this whiskey until the day that I'm laying in my grave. I'm always in the clouds, looking up and fading out. Cirrus shapes I found blow me away, then I'll right around. Pushing through, skin is brown. Nature has us trapped in fear, so I get lost in sound. I wonder if you'll ever know why I am the way I am. Constellation theme, mapping stars that are meant to be. Geminis are free of suicidal kings. This misty maze of me, so obvious yet never seen. Feeling though the fog will lift to find me lost at sea. I've been thinking what Spend my life in the mountains of East Tennessee. Days on the farm, it just comes naturally. Daylight to dark is not for the typical man. Just a backwoods country boy, proud of who I am. Proud of who I am. Proud of who I am. Well, this is my rifle, this is my gun. Let's get on, boys, come on and get you some. Let's get you some. And I'll fire all my rounds downrange till the enemy hits the sand. Yes, sir, I knew exactly what I was doing when I swore to Uncle Sam. If you don't like the way I'm living, just remember that it's for you. I'm a redneck camel wearing son of a gun for the red, white, and blue. Red, white, and blue. Pack my bags, headed out to the big sandbox. Just some good old boys and me, some medicine night. Well, the price of freedom, son, it don't come free. I guess that's why the good Lord chose me. This here's my rifle, this here's my gun. Let's get on, boys, come on and get you some. Let's get you some. And I'll fire all my rounds downrange till the enemy gets the same. Yes, sir, I knew exactly what I was doing when I swore to Uncle Sam. If you don't like the way I'm living, just remember that it's for you. I'm a redneck camel wearing son of a gun. I'm a redneck camel wearing son of a gun for the red, white, and blue. Red, white, and blue. We do it for you. 'Cause that's what we do.
WTF Nation Radio
is in the house.
Everything stated on WTF Nation Radio is to be considered the opinion of the person that stated it, and not an official representation of WTF Nation Radio or U.S. Army WTF Moments.
Price does not include tax, title, or license. Some assembly required. Each item sold separately. Batteries not included. Objects in mirror are closer than they appear. If conditions persist, contact a physician. Individual results may vary. Keep out of the reach of children. Avoid prolonged exposure to direct sunlight. Keep in a cool, dark place. And
please enjoy the show. Shots.
All right, and we are up and moving. Today is the 7th of April, and welcome. Everybody should be here, and everybody should be taking a seat and getting ready for a good show. And how are you doing today, Mr. Pookie?
I'm doing fantastic. How about yourself?
I'm doing wonderful. Excuse me. It is a beautiful day in the neighborhood, as they say. Ah, man. Been an interesting week. Can't say it's been good. Can't say it's been bad. How about you?
I can say about the same. It's been a really crazy week for me, but I mean, yeah, that's the way things work.
Well, crazy seems to be the word of the day, right?
Oh yeah.
So, well, I hope everybody who's making their way in has had a good time and in good mood. Hopefully everybody is ready and fired up for some good conversation. I see we got Stefan over in Mixer and a couple others who aren't talking yet. And let's see, we've got a couple people showing up in our Facebook Live room. So it's all good. Come on in, sit right down, and have yourselves a seat, and let's be happy. Hey, Justin, good to see you. It's good to see everybody here tonight, man.
I just
Today,
hope everyone had a good week this week, man.
yeah, no kidding, right? The weather has been pretty rough. It's been kind of for us where I'm at. We've actually been in the geez 50s, so it hasn't exactly
Oh,
been balmy.
the 50s. It's been, I think it hit like 90 today where I'm at. Huh?
Oh yeah, you suck.
It's all fun, but I still got that thick northern blood. So I'm like, this time of year, it's like 90. I'm like, what is going on? It's messing with me.
Yeah, no kidding, right? Well, and hello, Michelle. Good to see you. No, right now, Kaz decided he needs to save the world some more, so we gave him another week pass. He's out there saving cats and dogs and women and children as usual. So today you got me, and hopefully that's good enough for you tonight. Oh, today we are going to have a guest. By the way, we have a guest. His name is Mark Addison. He's an Army veteran. Let me see. He has been. He's coming to talk about his career and what led him to pursuing country music. Mark retired from the Army back in 2015 and moved to Nashville, where he's been pursuing a full-time music career as an artist and a songwriter. Mark plays regularly in Nashville and his home state of North Carolina, so it should be a good show. We're gonna be in the break. We're actually gonna play some of his music. That ought to be good. I've listened. It sounds pretty good. Um, stick around during the break and listen for yourself and see what you think. I personally, I enjoyed it. Excuse me. Goodness, it's that's the downside of going back between 60 and 50 is we get a little bit of pollen in the air, and then we get some rain.
You're worried about a little bit of pollen.
Yeah.
I'm sitting here breathing it in like it's like.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, that's the one thing that sucks about being down here. Oh my god.
Well, I'm happy to see you too, Michelle. I'm happy to see Justin. I'm happy to see everybody. Everybody makes me happy just seeing them and knowing that they're around. Don't ever think otherwise, please. So, anyway, um, oh darn, I hit the wrong button. I hate that sometimes. I'm trying to do too many things at one time. Um, Anyway, I got to keep up with what's going on around me. Hey, how you doing, Albert? Good to see you too. Thanks for the share. Thanks for the likes. Share, like, follow us, please. We love to get people to coming in. And yeah, right now things are a little odd. Facebook and the Facebook gremlins have been messing with us a little bit, but that soon will be repaired. Give us a little bit of time. Zuck can only do so much. So. You can only do so much. He can only do so much to us, and we can only do so much to counter. That's life, right? Anyway, so today we have a good lineup. We're going to have some fun stories. We're going to have a country and western singer in the second hour, a good interview, listen to some music during the break, and we're just going to enjoy some good conversations. Yeah, Michelle's in Florida, and she's saying, "Yeah, bad pollen and rain in Florida."
We had some rain the other day. We went a good minute without rain, and it was actually bugging me because the dust was so high. Like I literally was out. I have the dust. I got my little entertainment system outside the sunroom because I
Yeah.
like sitting outside to play my games and stuff. I have to dust at least 3 times a day.
Oh,
because
wow.
I'm OCD about that shit.
Well, and that's Mr. Pookie. He has to have his moments, right? I love it. And that's okay. You know, I can relate everybody, I can relate. It's not fun. It's never fun. But we do what we can, and we drive on, and we make sure that life goes forward, as they say. So I'm happy that everybody's here. I'm happy everybody is uh, present, having a good day, and so far as everybody's kind of making their way into the room, so I'm happy to see them. It does me good. So anyway, and I'm doing a little bit of work, and I apologize. I was asked to do something as I can, so I'm doing it as I can. And let's put that in there, and let's do that, and let's do that.
Multitasking is always a
Oh, I
fun
tell
job.
you, that's what I'm good for, is multitasking, right? Let's see. I think I got it right. Let's see if I did it right. Give me that. Give me that. And I know you didn't sign up for me to sit here and look silly, but there we go. All right. Anyway, well, hello, Dory. Good to see you. I'm back. I've done what I can. I can't save the world. I can only do so much. So I've done what I can, and enough said. All right. So today we're going to do our usual thing. We're going to have a little bit of fun. We're going to talk about some fun stories. If anybody wants to talk about anything specific, give me a holler, give me a shout out. If it's something that I know about or something we can have kind of enjoy, I'm more than willing to talk about it. Hey, how you doing, D-Max? Good to see you too, bud. Um, you're right. Dust is constant everywhere, no matter where you go. I swear. Um, in pollen, it is what it is. Uh, I'm just happy to be able to breathe. So,
A friend of mine calls it tree sperm.
yeah, right. No, people don't know me. Um, if you would have seen me 4.5 years ago, I wouldn't have been able to. I would right now probably be on an inhaler, because that's how bad my allergies can get. And I didn't have an immune system. Well, now I have an immune system, so I can deal with this. A little bit of dare you to chew gum and rub your belly, Al. Yes, I'm working hard to get things done. uh, but so you kind of, people don't realize sometimes they take things for granted. A little bit of coughing, and people say, "Oh man, it's terrible." Tell you what, I'll take coughing over pneumonia any day. So, hey, it's good to hear that Albert said one of his friends got back from deployment safe and sound. I'm glad to hear that.
Oh,
Congratulate him and
sweet.
tell him to chime in here. We love to have people who've been deployed come in and say hello. All right, you know what? I'm in a good mood. You know, it's been an up and down week. I've been making some good contacts here and there, spreading myself out a little bit, getting people to know me. At the same time, I've been busier than I'm used to. So that's been, it's a mixed bag. And thank you, Michelle. She saw my haircut. Thank you for the compliment. Um, it's one of those weeks that it was a mixed bag for me. Um, just back and forth. There's some stuff I'm not going to get into. It's personal family stuff, but there was a loss, and that's okay. Um, it wasn't an unexpected loss. It's just a loss nonetheless. So dealing with that in family matters, and moving forward, you just kind of look at the world, and It's not a bad thing. Every day we have a chance to make our day better. I know Pookie, he tries every day. He tries to have fun. How
Oh
often,
yeah.
you know, try to remember to have fun. Try to remember to get out there. Um, don't lock yourself in the house. Now that the sun is coming out, get some of that vitamin D on you. I'm not saying go bake yourself, but get a little warm.
Mhm.
It won't
I've been
hurt you.
enjoying the sun. I love it. I love every minute of it.
Right? And D-Max, no, my haircut is usually like this. Uh, you guys see it. I have to get a haircut every 2.5 weeks, or it gets really shaggy and on my ears, and I can't stand that.
Oh, why don't you do what I do and just let it go, man?
I did when I was younger. When I was about your age, I had hair down to the point where I had a ponytail, and my ponytail went to the middle of my back.
It's about where mine's at right now.
And then I had a beard that went down to a little past my chest. So
Also, what in all reality is that I'm just a younger version of yourself, essentially.
you're getting there. You're getting there. And thank you, Justin. Yeah, don't worry. It's not it's not that I don't cry, guys. It's that this was not an unexpected death. Got to remember, there's many ways to look at death. Okay, me personally, as a shaman, I look at it as moving into another life. Then you look at what's on top of that, and this person was in a coma, and if that person had even come out of the coma, they still wouldn't have had a good life. They would have been in a nursing home the rest of their life, and that's not what they wanted. So the passing was actually a blessing for them versus being in or coming out of the coma and being bedridden. So that's the way I have to look at it. Because personally, when I was getting at my worst in physical health, I was thinking the same way. The last thing I want to be is in a bed. So I understood. And it's not that I don't cry, because I do. It's just this wasn't an unexpected death. Um, this person had been deteriorating over quite a bit of time. And this was just the final stage. So thank you for your condolences, and thank you for caring. I appreciate it. Yeah, D-Max, exactly. My wife knows if I can't come out and recover, I'm done. No joke, I'm done. So, oh, Justin, my wife hates my beard and hair, letting it grow out, hopefully long enough to give it locks of love. No, the locks of love? That's a cool thing. Okay, cool. Well, at least you're thinking.
Huh?
With me, it was just
Mine's
rebellion.
starting to lock up a little bit. I need to do some maintenance to it because I don't like it when it gets locky. I like it to be like flowing in the wind like a wizard.
Trying to get yourself in my mode, huh?
Exactly. I'd say
Oh,
the best
brother.
feeling in the world is you're walking through a field,
Oh,
you're
yeah.
outside, sun's beating down on you, and a wind kicks up, and it just catches your beard at the right angle, and it whistles at you. It goes.
Yeah, yeah. I remember that. I actually, when my beard got long enough, I actually uh, braided the bottom of it a little. So didn't put beads in it. I'm not that hippie. So anyway, for those of you that just wandered in, we're going to have a country and western singer today. His name, and I'm pulling it up here, is a Mark Addison. He is a retired uh, military soldier, and he's been retired since 2015. Has been in Nashville ever since. So we will be listening to him during break. So please stick around for break, and we'll actually be interviewing him and getting some good conversation. So please make sure to stick around for that, okay? All right. You know what? I feel like a story. Don't you feel like a story?
Tell me it's not a Florida man story.
Well, just because you said that, let me see. Where can I go? I know I had a Florida man story.
You don't have to reach far to find a Florida man story.
No, you don't. You don't. I'm just looking because I actually even have Minnesota stories. That's how diverse this round is. Let's go. Let's go ahead and go with. Oh, geez. Guess your hair receding to your balls. Thanks a lot. Okay. This is in the Ukraine. Let's see. Here we go. Artists use Ukraine's president's candy wrappers for critical portrait. It's actually kind of interesting if you look at your screens. As Ukraine heads into a presidential election on Sunday, today, two artists have created an unflattering portrait of incumbent Petro Poroshenko using sweet wrappers and bullet casings. Ooh. From Poroshenko's perspective, probably the best thing about the piece is that the artist had to use 20 kilograms, 44 pounds of candies made from a confectionery firm that he owns. Oh,
I mean, I'm
jeez.
looking at the it's not a bad piece.
No, really? It's not. Title Face of Corruption. The collage by Daria Manchenko and Danielle Green is full of hidden meanings. Speaking to Reuters in her apartment in Kiev, Manchenko explained that the candy wrappers symbolize empty promises made to Ukrainians since Porenko came to power following the ousting of pro-Russian President Viktor Yanukovych 5 years ago. Sat at a table covered with colorful wrappers, she described the Ukrainian people as being like a child craving democracy. This child was shown a candy in the form of democracy, in the form of a new future, of something bright, non-totalitarian and honest, she said. And in the end, the child was not given this candy. This is why we can see candy wrappers on the face of Petro, Porenko, who cannot see candies, who can see empty wrappers, just wrappers. That's an interesting. That's actually very interesting. The portrait's background is made of bullet casings collected from Ukrainian's volatile east and are arranged in a pattern to resemble chocolate bars, in a nod to Poroshenko's background in the confectionery business and his nickname, the Chocolate King. Close up, the chocolate bars also resemble coffins, which symbolize the lost souls of Ukrainians, Marchenko said. In the background, we can see the country at war, the country full of coffins, while the president lives in sweetness under any circumstances. Well, I did this story. One, it's an interesting take on the way things are and what we have versus what other people have. And two, I found that it was interesting symbolism, and that it's a reminder to me that anybody we elect can do anything, and anything that we do can be undone. These people were hoping for democracy and they didn't get it. So it's something to kind of remind ourselves about. Not to depress y'all.
No, I mean, you want to get me down this whole thing. I mean, I don't like politicians, period, and I think taxation is theft.
Of course.
But I mean, yeah, I mean, politicians are politicians, and they're always going to be corrupt. They just want power at that point. That's just the way I look at it. That's my opinion.
I
So
don't disagree with you. Politicians, people who get into politics young and stay in it, they're in it for the power. Versus someone who gets in it at a later age, they're getting in it usually to try and change something. And we need to look for those who are looking to change and to point us in a good direction. So, just something to think about. Remember, democracy
mhm.
is one term away from being overthrown.
It's very easy to do.
It is, yes. So anyway, on to a much better story. San Francisco suburb says yabba dabba don't to Flintstone's house owner fighting back. It's a page right out of history. The grounds of an unusual home in an exclusive San Francisco suburb that pays homage to the Flintstones family, complete with dinosaurs and a life-size Fred Flintstone, has ended up in the middle of a legal fight between town officials and a property owner. Excuse me. The house in Hillsborough that's visible from Interstate 280 has featured the addition of several dinosaurs to the garden, in addition to other structures that has drawn the ear of city officials due to the owner not getting required permits for the work. There we go. Here comes California with their permits. Yeah, we don't like it when people build things first and then come in and demand or ask for permission later, said the city attorney. That's not fair to everyone else who goes through the process. Yeah, town calls Flintstone House a public nuisance and sues the owner. The 2,730 square foot house, currently painted red and purple with a giant Yabba Dabba Doo sign near the driveway, was built in 1976. It was purchased by Florence Fang, a prominent philanthropist who once published the San Francisco Examiner in June 2017 for $2.8 million. Fang is not the Wilma of a modern Stone Age family, however. Fang, who doesn't live in the home, instead uses it for entertainment purposes and charitable events. That's interesting. The San Francisco Bay Area suburb of Hillsborough is suing the owner of the so-called Flintstone home, saying that she installed dangerous steps, dinosaurs, and other Flintstone-era figurines without necessary permits. City officials said that Fang was given 3 stop work notices, a code violation citation, and then a hearing in front of an administrative panel made up of neighbors before a lawsuit was ultimately filed in March over unpermitted garden installations. If the lawsuit is successful, the judge will order her to remove the statues and the mushrooms and the Yabba Dabba Doo sign. There are some other safety code violations that she needs to correct, and the judge would order that as well. But an attorney for the 84-year-old told the Associated Press that snobby officials are after Fang's constitutional right to enjoy her yard. Miss Fang has made people smile. She's giving them joy. What's not to love about Dino, who acts like a dog? Angela Aleato, a former San Francisco supervisor, told the newspaper, "What is wrong with these people?" San Francisco Bay Area homeowner taking flack from dinosaurs in front of Flintstone House while inviting reporters on a tour of the home this week. Um, excuse me. The home is a happy place. San Francisco Bay Town. Okay, she's an incredible life, and I think it's wonderful that a 84-year-old she has found something that makes her so happy. Her attorney also said, let me see, also filed a cross complaint against the city officials, and it will be put in as of April 11th, saying her constitutional rights to free speech and religion were violated. Jeez,
I
people.
don't know about that far, but I mean, you just look at a picture. I'm not on that property. That's her property. She can do whatever the heck she wants with it, and show me where that hurts you anywhere. Like all these people going after her.
You know,
How did it physically hurt you?
and that's what I say. Okay, that was. I mean, come on. That is. Oop, wrong one. There we go. That is fun. I mean, that is just plain fun.
Yes, there's no. I don't see anything wrong with that. The city wants their money, is what it is. That's
Yeah,
it. That's the bottom line of it. She built stuff without going to. Oh Lord, do I have permission to build this upon my land if you choose so?
exactly.
Crap that California pulls.
People, you want to know what socialism looks like? You just heard it. I mean, this is a beautiful house. It's. I mean, I would. You can't tell me you wouldn't enjoy living in that house.
Shit, I'd turn it into an Airbnb and it would be awesome. Of course, the whole safety violation crap. I hate that. I should be able to do whatever I want. You shouldn't be trespassing on my property in the first place to get yourself hurt.
Yeah,
First of
right.
all, that's the way I look at it. But I mean, I'd turn it into Airbnb. People would love to come out there. I'd make a killing off of it. This is inner-capitalist to me, but still, I mean,
But that's just it. I mean, you're right. It's a wonderful place, a beautiful location. I mean, it's in Snobsville, USA.
well, that's another thing too. Is I'm pretty sure a lot of the property owners that you mentioned that got together around the area are sitting on them little McMansions that are with perfectly tilled yards and everything looks amazing. And they've
Exactly.
never once had the deal with crap in their life or mow their yard.
Yeah, D-Max, you're right. The place looks just amazing. You know, people are saying, where do I find these stories? They're out there. When you get past, hey Heath, good to see you. When you get past all the mainstream heartstrings trying to throw crap in your face, there's a lot of fun stories out there. I
Oh
mean,
yeah. Yeah,
jeez.
so I love like Reddit because I can dig through Reddit and I can find the stories I want people to share stuff on there. I like it.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
can pick through what I want. I don't care about politics, so I'm not going to look at the politics page. I want to see what's funny
Exactly.
right now or what's happy or good news, like like a firefighter saved a child's life kind of crap. Like I
Exactly.
want to see that. I don't want to so and so touch so and so and blah blah
Exactly.
blah.
Or he did this or she did that. Yeah, exactly. And thank you, Barcilio Army, for the follow. Um, that's the reason I love bringing this stuff, because this is stuff you aren't seeing. This is the silly stuff, the stuff you just sit there going, really? We're human. We got to have fun. You got to laugh at yourself, and you got to laugh at circumstances. If you don't, all you're going to do is sit there and wake up sucking lemons and grimacing, and that's no way
Yep.
to live.
Humor is the best medicine. It's by far.
Exactly. And I completely agree with that. You got to have fun. You got to be out there and just laugh it up. Uh, oh, yeah. Andrea says she's in Australia, and she gets a great laugh out of some of the stuff that goes on there. Some of our stories are from Australia. We get stuff from Australia too.
Oh, I see some of the Aussie man. I think the best one that I've seen is he jumped out of the back of his truck and ran up to a kangaroo and punched it because it was picking on his dog. I guess they were hunting hogs or something like that. And
Jeez.
the kangaroo was about to mess his dog up. And this is a video, and of course, like PETA and everyone went against the guy for animal cruelty. But I mean, it's beating up your dog. Dog's man's best friend, and you got to defend your dog.
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
he rolled up to a kangaroo and punched it in the face, and it looked at him like, what was that?
Oh, Justin says that's why he's turned off from buying new homes, the HOAs, the homeowners associations. I don't blame you,
I tell
Justin.
people, stay away from an HOA. stay away from it.
Well, I live in an old neighborhood, so there's supposedly an HOA, but it doesn't exist. There's not even any meetings. It's
No, it's
non-existent.
one of those. Well, I like where I'm staying right now. It used to be an HOA, but like so, it's been so long that it just fell apart and doesn't
Exactly.
exist no more.
And you know, I'm in an older home, and I don't mind that. I can do what I want to with it. I'm not worried that I'm gonna kill its value. Anything I'm gonna do is increase the value. So
That's like I love to buy my own land and build my own house, but I just don't want to deal with the government with it.
yeah, I don't blame you. I don't blame you. No, you know, you have, like I say, you have to laugh. You have to find things um, to make you smile. And if you can't, well, go look up John Alb, because I guarantee you'll find something that'll make you smile. Because I always post silly stuff. I find that it's
I do it too.
necessary.
I love following your that stuff because it's like every now and then you'll see something crazy like unicorn cat flying through the air or something like that. This is hilarious.
Exactly. I mean, and I post kitten pictures, and Stefan's having all sorts of fun. He's lighting up the mixer chat. He's doing all fireworks right now. He's having some fun. He's entertaining himself.
I got a funny story that pertains to what I've been dealing with this week.
Go
Is
for it.
like okay, it was bad, but then I turned it funny.
Okay.
Is I had a gout flare up in my foot, so I've
Mm,
been limping around, right?
yeah.
All week I've been going, yar, I'm coming for the booty, you know. Everyone's laughing. I was like, my mom told me I could be whatever I want to be, so I told her I wanted to be a pirate, and not look at me now, I'm a pirate, yar, and I'm just limping around everywhere.
You know, that's just it. You have to find humor in whatever you're given. I mean, I I have pain in every joint in my body, including my spine, my jaw, and my eye sockets. Um, and you know, I make a choice to get up every day and to find something positive. When the weather's bad, I'm like, you know what? I'm just not going to let it get to me. I'm going to have a good day. I'm going to find something to do today that will make me happy. Whether it's streaming a game I like, uh, whether it's getting something done in the house that I wanted to get done, it's something that makes me feel accomplished. And sometimes we need to remember to do stuff like that, because sometimes you can't do big stuff all the time. So the small stuff helps. So don't forget about that, guys.
It's like I say, make sure you make your bed every morning when you wake up. It'll make your day so
Exactly.
much better.
You
I don't
know,
know why, but it just makes your midday so much better.
well, and I even tell people, so you just take a shower. It may sound silly, but okay, when I was in the field, you didn't take a shower for days on end, okay? Weeks on end, months on end,
Yeah.
okay? And that kind of made you feel weighed down. You didn't feel right. But taking a shower, you wake up. It lightens your day, especially if you've been a soldier. It's a symbol that you're not in the field. So why not? And it's a good start to the day. Just something to keep in mind, y'all. Don't forget about that stuff. Well, I'm going to go to a story. Okay, get this.
Mm-hmm.
A woman calls police after husband brings home wrong type of chicken.
Wait, what?
Yep, you heard me right. Talk about a food fight. This is a Wisconsin story. A Wisconsin woman called police on Sunday after she got into an argument with her husband when he brought home the wrong type of chicken, said authorities. Cops
Mm-hmm.
received a call just about 7:30 p.m. from a woman 40 who reported a verbal argument with her 37-year-old husband, Brown Deer. Police wrote in a release titled Noteworthy Calls from the Weekend. Minnesota. Oh, never mind. Police later found out the couple got into an argument after the husband allegedly purchased the wrong piece of poultry. The man later agreed to stay with his father for the night. It's unclear what part of the chicken the woman needed, what dish she was cooking, and what piece of meat the man ultimately bought. The identities of those involved were not released.
Oh, let's see. Oh man, that leaves such a cliffhanger because I was like so curious about like, okay, what did he buy? What did she want? Huh? I need to know
Exactly.
because I'd fight someone over the wrong kind of chicken. I would. Like if I say I want some fried chicken and you bring home some baked chicken breasts, I might get in a fight with you over that. Huh?
You have to laugh at I mean, people do the silliest stuff, and you just sit there going, "Really? Really?"
I mean, like I'm just looking at it from my perspective. I might fight someone over some chicken wings.
Mm-hmm.
I might. It's just me.
Yeah.
But I love chicken wings. So I mean, that's just me.
Well, of course, of course. But that's just it. It's no. This was Wisconsin, Michelle. And
I'm pretty sure Spanky can. If Spanky's listening, she can agree with me on this. I will fight someone over some chicken wings.
I see spanking fighting over food. Period. If it's food, it's Spanky's. And here's another one. And this just I'm pulling out ones that you just sit there going, really? Huh? Here's another one. This one's from Minnesota. Deputy finds pig on driver's lap after report of swerving vehicle. This guy's car was a real pigsty. A Minnesota sheriff's office on Friday shared a strange encounter after an officer pulled over a motorist allegedly seen swerving on a highway and found a pig in the front seat. Cisco County Sheriff's Deputy Sergeant Jason Foster responded to a report of someone swerving on Interstate 35. And when he stopped the pickup truck that had been flagged, Foster soon came upon the pig who was sitting on the driver's lap. It was kind of shocking. He was this 250-pound pig on his lap. In fact, it was leaning against the steering wheel. He was muscling the steering wheel to keep it in his lap. The driver told Foster he was in the process of moving and didn't want his pets to go cold in the back of the pickup truck. Foster let the driver and his porky passenger off the hook with a warning. He added that drivers who are worried about their pets shouldn't let them sit on their lap while driving. Let the pig lay in the back or put the pig in the passenger seat. Whatever. Don't drive with the pig in your lap either.
That's a full blown pig.
250-pound pig, people.
That is some bacon.
That's not little. And that's in his lap. So that, I mean, geez.
Must be okay. I know people who have pet pigs, and I respect them for that. But to me, when I look at a pig, all I see is like ham and bacon.
Bacon.
That's me.
Bacon. You're like me.
My mouth starts watering a little bit when I see a pig. Like my aunt has some pet pigs, and I look at them and I'm like, oh my god, that you'd be so tasty right now. I would slow cook you for a couple hours and just.
And Richard, that's not nice. We have sergeants' wives in the room. Behave. Bad Richard. Oh, geez, people. It's okay. You can make comments. Just we're not politically correct here. Let's have some fun. You're right. Oh my. Well, since we're not politically correct, let's see. Flagellance in the workplace is not a form of bullying. Australian appeals court rules.
What?
Yep. And this is Australia, people. An Australian appeals court on Friday ruled that repeated flagellance targeted at another individual wasn't a form of bullying or assault.
Okay.
The ruling by The Victoria State Court of Appeal came after David Hingst, a 56-year-old engineer, brought a case against his former supervisor for constantly farting toward demanding 1.3 million in damages from his former employer in Melbourne, Construction Engineering. The court upheld
So he was working construction too? Oh, this is even better.
right? The court upheld an earlier ruling stating that even if Hinkst's allegations were found to be truthful, breaking wind doesn't constitute bullying. But Hingst remains defiant and says he will take his case to the country's High Court, Australia's final court of appeal. The court's judge wrote in their ruling that Hingst argued that flagellants constituted assaults and alleged that Mr. Short would regularly break wind on him at him, Mr. Short thinking this to be funny. The man testified in court, claiming that the bullying forced him to move out of a communal office space to avoid Supervisor Greg Short's flagellants. Yet Short will still enter Hink's small, windowless office a few times a day just to break wind, he said. This led to spray Short with deodorant and call him Mr. Stinky. He would fart behind me and walk away. He would do this 5 or 6 times a day, Hink said outside court.
See, okay, this guy wouldn't last like 5 seconds in an Army motor pool.
I know, right? Justin and Michelle, gas.
I mean, we used to do it all the time. I would like do the hand signal for gas. You know what I'm talking about? To like one of my buddies, so he knew like, hey, back the heck up. And everyone around me would be dying. You know,
Jeez.
I mean, you eat a couple MREs, you're gonna be busting ass. I mean, come on.
You know, I would have to say one, as the employer would say, okay, do you have intestinal problems? If so, please go. If you don't, go get them looked at, because I mean, if you're breaking wind that much, there might be something wrong with you. But if you're not in the military, and if you're in the military, well, the food will speak for itself.
Just stay away from that fried chicken at the DFAC. Just do it. Any of you newer guys listening right now, stay away from that fried chicken in the DFAC.
Exactly.
It'll give you a bulla.
But beyond that, I mean, still, it just you have to sit there and wonder about how how he really thought he was going to get away with suing and getting people to actually take this one seriously. Anyway,
I know that it brings me to a funny story. I'm walking through Walmart the other day, and there's this older gentleman, and I see this, like, he had this shit-eating grin on his face, and I was trying to figure out why he was smiling ear to ear. You know, like, usually older people walking around, they hate life, blah, 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 blah. His wife looked miserable, but he was smiling. He was just, about 2 seconds later, I realized why I was smiling so bad. Because he done crop dusted the entire aisle. And he was smiling because he knew he did it. But, I mean, when you get to about 70 years old, you got to entertain yourself every now and then. You know, I've done it before. I thought it was funny, and I was younger. So, I mean.
All right, you heard it here, people. Don't walk behind Pookie.
I'll definitely don't get behind line of me, like, especially them long-ass Walmart lines. I'm notorious for that.
Oh, you got to love it, people. You just got. What do we talk about on Sundays? Farts. I love it. Oh, and
I had someone tell me a long time ago that all shitty ideas come from a fart that you held in. It just works its way up the spine into the brain, and it gives you a bad idea. So it's just best to let it out whenever you just let it out.
And D-Mac says the old Shrek, better out than in. Oh, my. you you do have to have a sense of humor in life, and that's what I love to promote, sense of humor, people. If you can't smile, then go suck on a lemon like every other person and watch news and make yourself angry. It's not worth it. It really isn't.
That's why I've taken such a hiatus away from news. Someone starts talking politics to me. I'm like, nah. Today you're not ruining my buzz right now.
Yeah, right. Well, and if for all of you that don't know, I do actually stream. Spooky's supposed to be getting back to streaming here soon.
Once I get a new phone.
But I'm streaming, and I stream mainly because I play a game. It's fun. You come in the room, and we sit there and we talk. I will. I play this game. Oh, I've played this game over and over so many times in the past years. I can play this thing pretty much on automatic. So I can talk, and we can sit there and just talk about anything, and that makes the life a lot easier, and it gives you the ability to talk to someone if you need to talk. So I'm around, and Pookie, it won't be long and he'll be back up and he'll be doing the same thing. He loves to talk.
I love to talk and get very pissed off about shit.
Hmm. I mean, and he's the food guy. He'll pull out food and eat it just to show what weird food he can find.
Oh yeah, I got a chocolate bar sitting in my fridge right now. It's one of those what do they call them thing? Cocoa challenge or whatever it is.
Yeah,
It's the
yeah.
hottest pepper in the world. And I've been wanting to do it on camera, but my camera's messed up. So once I get a new camera, you're gonna see it.
Well, I
That's
got.
gonna be blowing up aisles in Walmart at that point.
Oh, no kidding, right? I haven't gone to Walmart in a long time, so.
I applaud you on that because I have a special medication I have to take 15 minutes before even stepping foot in there right now.
Yeah, I don't doubt it. Well, here's another story. A good. This is kind of fun, and I'll let you figure out where it's from. Man admits ghost did not plant meth in his home. Court records show. A man
Straight
a man who surmised that a ghost may have planted methamphetamine is in, now get this, Louisiana home, eventually admitted
oh,
that he and not an otherworldly force was responsible for the drug being is in his residence. Court
so East
records
Texas
show.
pretty much.
Michael Attenbury, 60, was what was that? I busted ass in a commissary and got chewed out by a sergeant major in the aisle over it. Ha ha! You got caught.
But it wasn't me, Sergeant. I don't know what you're talking about, Sergeant Major. It wasn't me. I didn't
Right?
do it. Deny. That's the perfect defense.
Oh, this guy was arrested in October after police arrived at his home in response to a purported assault. Atterbury said, cops said, had called 911 to claim that he had been stabbed on the head by an axe. When officers arrived at the home, they determined that he was not suffering from an axe wound. Cops did, however, spot in plain view on a nightstand an open brown paper containing approximately 1 gram of suspected methamphetamine. Jeez, people, if you're gonna call the cops, put the shit away.
Well, I've heard stories of people getting so high on pot that they've called the cops on themselves
Mm-hmm.
for
Oh yeah.
smoking it.
And okay, so when the cops quizzed this guy, he said a ghost or intruders planted the drugs before climbing out a bedroom window. That was his claim.
Hey! Did I just say deny?
Oh God! Charged with narcotics
Yeah,
possession and making a false report to police, Attenbury uh, subsequently pleaded guilty to the felony drug charge. He was sentenced to serve 6 months at hard labor, which is Louisiana for time in state custody. Gee.
wait. See, the inner me says do whatever the hell you want, as long as you don't sink my boat while you're doing it, I don't give a crap. I mean, that seems like a lot of time to be serving for just getting high on something.
Well, they're cracking down on meth. I mean, people are starting to get states are starting to get kind of light about marijuana, but meth, I, I, I don't agree necessarily with. I think marijuana should be medical. Meth, I mean, they should. Anybody who makes that shit, they should put them away for life. That stuff is truly horrible.
It's the devil, but I mean, I play devil's advocate with that. Is the pharmaceutical companies be giving it to kids all the time, and no one bats an eye about it. Huh? So, I mean, if you want to put them away, put them all away at that point. I mean, that's just my opinion on.
Oh, I'm reading the chat. There are some funny things going on in there. Fuck, I've called the cops on myself drunk.
Who said that?
D-Max said that.
Oh, of course D-Max would say that. Thank you, D-Max. I knew you would say that.
Andrea said, try to get them to put me on the bag for DUI to get away from a creepy date one time. Jeez.
Well, that's a good defense. That's a good defense. Except he did deny.
Yeah, right. I mean, come on. This is funny. You know, that's the whole thing. When you're drinking and doing drugs, you don't always think about what you're doing. And unfortunately, I mean, some people should have those little blow meters on their phone.
I always was curious about that. You can only buy them that work up to a certain alcohol level.
Yeah.
Which I couldn't understand. Like, some states have a law against that. When I should just be able to buy the full-blown breathalyzer test. So I can sit there. I guess they don't want people blowing until they're just perfect, like 0.07 where they're legal and driving. I guess that's what it is. But,
well,
I don't know.
They've got an app now that plugs into the phone that actually is accurate. And it plugs into a smartphone, and it will actually give you an accurate reading of your blood alcohol. You can buy this.
I'm legit with that. You know, people can sit there and test themselves until they hit a certain level, but in my eyes, I think if you blow anything more than a 0.04, you're reckless driving at that point. Huh?
Yeah, and I agree with you. Hey, Road Tech, good to see you, bud. You know, it's common sense, and those of us who are here, I think most of us, have gone through enough silliness that we know life experience. Life experience gives you the ability to say, that was stupid.
Mm-hmm. You said it. Experience is the best teacher by far.
Yeah, you're right, Justin. They now actually do have breathalyzers that hook into. Hey, Ross, good to see you. Excuse me, hooks into the ignition, and you actually have to blow into it before the car will start.
Oh yeah, the states have that. If you get a DUI, it's mandatory for you to have that on your vehicle.
Some states do that, yeah, and I think that's a good thing.
I just think it's messed up. Well, everyone should have it at that point. If you're that worried about DUIs,
Well,
you blow once, the vehicle starts up.
Well, and that's just it. Then you're looking at people. What about marijuana? What about methamphetamine and all that stuff? Then they can't detect that out of breath. So then they'd actually have to do a blood test.
Alcohol is the number one reason why accidents happen most of the time on it. I mean, if someone smokes a little pot and they're driving like 10 miles under the speed limit, thinking they're doing warp speed,
Yeah.
I'm a freaking goddamn Jeff Gordon right now. I'm doing 200 miles an hour, and they're doing 10 miles an hour.
Yeah. Your perceptions
a
are
rabbit
definitely
runs by
off.
Damn, that rabbit must be doing crack, and he's running freaking 200 miles an hour.
Well, and Michelle, it was a DMAX says it's called ignition interlock. Yeah, I've actually seen and heard those.
Mm-hmm.
I've known people that have actually sat there and gone drinking. Then women specifically go out, find some guy who said, "Hey," she'll sit there and wink and say, "You know, you need to be the designated driver," and she'll cuddle up all to him and be all cutesy. She'll get drunk and then say, "Now blow in this." He'll blow into it and say, then she'll say, "Bye."
And until like 5 minutes down the road, it hits you with another one. The ones that the government puts on there, it randomly just pops.
Really?
And if it'll say, "Hey, blow now." You go to blow, and say you refuse to blow, it'll set an alarm off. Your car will sit there and flash. It has like the hazards,
Yeah.
and the horn will be honking. So it'll go wah 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 until you pull over and kill the car, pretty much.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, that's the way the police be just minding their own business. They see a car honking and flash, and they know someone's fucked up.
Uh-huh. Well, you know what? It is getting to the top of the hour, and we have a guest, so I'm going to go ahead and let us go to our break. And there's going to be two songs, the first song and the last song, that are going to be by the guest, and then the in between is going to be Jay Ready. The first song's going to be I Ain't Gone, and the second one's going to be Second Chance, or the third song is going to be Second Chance. In between is going to be Jay Ready doing PTSD. So stick around. We're going to have a good interview. Stick around. I'd love to show that we've got good support and that he's going to have a good audience for his music. So, everybody, shots.
Before coffee on a Tuesday, it's already been a bad week. My girls had a couple flats. My dishwasher sprung a leak. From the kitchen, her complaining, you know it just ain't cute anymore. I get the kitchen, starts drifting towards the great outdoors. I smell the honeysuckle blooms, I can see the red buds too. In my garage, I got rods up on the wall. I got a John boat in the yard under a faded camo tarp. I need a reset to my spot. I hear the call. I just gone fishing. Let her know that I ain't gone. Junk mail don't come out there. My phone won't ring. The only thing I want to hear is my reel with a big one on a string. That large mouth don't talk at all, and my weight just sinks away. Set him free, bring him home. The one decision I gotta make. I smell the honeysuckle blooms, I can see the red buds too. In my garage, I got rods up on the wall. I got a John boat in the yard under a faded camo tarp. I need a reset to my spot. I hear the call. Just gone fishing. Let her know that I ain't gone. I got my tackle box in the front seat and my best friend in the bed. Don't come looking for me, 'cause I ain't coming home till long after that sunset. I smell the honeysuckle blooms, I can see the red buds too. I got the rods in my garage down on the wall. Threw my John boat in the truck, filled my camo cooler up. I hit the reset, hit my spot, and he did that call. I just gone fishing, let her know that I ain't gone. No, I ain't gone missing. I've just gone fishing, let her know that I ain't gone.
and rocking and rolling again. And you there, Pook? I hear something.
No, I'm here. I'm sorry. I had my second mute on. I apologize.
That's not a problem. Not a problem. Well, we're going to be waiting for Mr. Mark to call in when he's ever ready. And what y'all think about those two songs? I actually thought they were pretty nice. Nice and mellow. I'm not a hard, going at it type person. I like it. It was very comfortable, very comfortable, very easy to listen to.
I'm not a big country fan, but I did like that first song you played, the fishing song.
Yeah.
I like that. It's gone fishing. I'll see you when I'm done. I like that.
That you can't fault such logic, can you? Oh, my people.
That's like probably the second most love of my life is fishing, and I can't do it for shit.
Yeah, well, for some people, fishing is about catching the fish, and for some people, it's just being there to fish. And I guess you're the second one. You're just there to fish and be out there.
I'm just there to get mad for no logical reason and throw things and yell at the fish. And I love doing it. I don't know why. It's like a love-hate really. Like I like playing golf. That's one of probably like third, fourth ones. I hate doing it, but I love doing it in the same sense. I get so mad doing it, but I love doing it. I guess it's a frustration outlet,
Oh, I agree. It gives you the ability to just be whatever you need to be at the moment. Here we go. And hello, is this Mark? Hello? I hit merge. Huh. You there, Mark? According to this, Mark's supposed to be there. Huh. Oh, there you go.
Hello.
There you go. Sorry, I can't. Okay. Excuse me. I'm not able to pull up camera with you. That'll be in another week or two. So for now, it's going to be your voice, and in the background, you're going to hear my co-host Spooky.
Okay.
Hello.
So I'm not on camera.
You're not on camera, so you can scratch, do whatever you want to.
All right, I will.
If you want me to see your beautiful face, I'm more than welcome to look at it.
That's all good, man.
The only reason I that right now I would have had to pull it into another computer and do a setup, and I don't have. That's going to be in about 2 weeks when I'm going to be able to do that. So schematics. So how you doing, Mark?
I'm doing well, man.
We just got done listening over the break your two songs. Oh geez, and I have them wrote down, and sure enough, now I can't find them.
I was just talking about the gone fishing song or whatever it was. I don't know the name of the title of it, but I liked it, man.
Thank you, man. The first one, the Second Chance song, that was a single that I put out last August, and then I just released another single in February that I didn't send you guys. And the one, I Ain't Gone, the fishing song there is actually, you guys are the first ones to hear that. That's going to be my single that I release April the 26th.
Well, that went over pretty big. Everybody in the room kind of lit up on that one, and we got people in
I
Mixer.
even said I'm not a big country fan, but I like that song, dude.
Thank you, man. Man, I wrote that song about 3 years ago. I actually was fishing. I was in so my son and my dad and everybody live in North Carolina. So I'm back and forth quite a bit, and I was actually fishing on a Sunday with my dad and my son, and I kind of had that idea, and then I had a ride scheduled with the guy the next day, and when I called him about it, he said that he was actually stranded on the lake, and he was going to have to cancel the ride because his boat had blown an engine, and he was like 18 miles up the river, so he's going to float back down. Yeah. So I was like, well, that's perfect, man. Well, this will be the guy to ride it with. So
yeah. Well, and you kind of lit up the chats, including over Mixer. They started reminiscing about boats, and I think you kind of hit a chord with that one. So
Yeah, man.
I think
Well,
I think you got a hit in this one.
well, thank you. Yeah, I kind of had that. I feel like it's kind of a real situation. So, like when I was married, I feel like I gave up a lot of my hobbies because I felt like I was like spending time. It was selfish time. I was
Yeah.
spending time on me, and I was like, well, that's I'm working, and so every spare minute that I have off, I should be at home with the family and kids and stuff. And I was working an Army job, so I was like 12 hours a day. So I gave up a lot of my hobbies, and I feel like that song kind of came out of that, saying like, you know what, no matter what, no matter in a relationship, you got to make sure that like you're good, you're as good as you can be for yourself, because that way you can bring the best of you back into that relationship. So I felt like,
totally agree, man.
So I mean, you can't be selfish about it. But I gave up golf, but I could have found 5 hours to play a round of golf a month for me, just to kind of.
Well, and
another
that's
golfer, yeah.
Well, and that's a good point. A lot of people forget that, see, in the military, and I noticed you just got out in 2015. In the military, it's all about, okay, you're either at work or you're home with your wife, and your wife is kind of demanding that you spend time, and at that point, it's like, well, that's in the military, that's all you do. So when you become a civilian, you forget that, okay, I'm not at work 20 hours a day anymore.
Well, and even if for any of the military guys that are listening here, or even if you are not, if you just work a standard job, everybody's situation is different. But
yeah,
I will say this: I'm a firm believer at this point that you got to take time for yourself, because if you don't take time for yourself, there's a line of that song that says reset. I need to reset. I need to find my spot and reset. So it's like you got to get yourself to a point to where you can be the best you for the other people in, whether it's your kids or your wife or whatever. So like, I don't know that I was always the best husband sometimes, because I thought I was doing what was best for the relationship by being there and giving that stuff up. But taking, a Saturday a month to go fishing, or a Saturday a month to go golfing, would have been a good investment maybe for the relationship, maybe. I don't know.
And that's just it.
Well, you go ahead.
Go ahead, Pookie. Go ahead.
No, I tell people this all the time in relationships. Just every now and then, you just need your day, man. You need a day to yourself. You just need it. It's just a decompress moment. I'm away from the insanity of life. I'm where I want to be, and it's just one day a month, 2 days a month. Who cares at that point?
I mean, maybe it's the gym, every morning and getting up an hour before, whatever your thing is. But like, you definitely have to do something for you, because then, it's not somebody else's fault, but, potentially you start to resent them for like, well, I'm giving my stuff up for them, but they don't necessarily ask you to do that.
No,
you feel obligated to. So,
and it's an obligation.
You develop a resentment, which you shouldn't.
Yeah, that only causes harm. And a lot of people, especially military, I mean, we're all about loyalty. We're all about being there for each other and being there for our nation, and we're loyal. And the downside to being loyal is we don't understand when we have to be loyal to ourselves also. And
well, yeah, right. So and I guess after that, after kind of looking at myself, I started writing songs kind of as therapy for, like my last year in the Army, kind of as like therapy for a failed marriage, therapy for just, coming out, transitioning out of the Army, war, all these things, things that I just wasn't necessarily dealing with, and then through the process of that, I kind of realized that, like, we're about selfless service in the Army, selfless service. So that's cool, and that's a beautiful thing, but sometimes we don't even know how to be selfish, and we need to be selfish to, like, sometimes we need to be selfish enough to take care of ourselves first.
I agree.
And by take care of ourselves, I'm talking about like mentally, because if you're not mentally where you need to be or physically where you need to be, then I mean you're almost like you can't be as selfless as you want to be. 100%. You know, you're only bringing 50% of yourself to the table when you're trying to be selfless. So you know that was kind of a hard lesson that I had to learn. That's one of the reasons why we need to do that. And the other thing is selfless people who are selfless, giving themselves selflessly, tend to find people that will be selfish and will be like, cool, you want to be selfless? Then cool, I'll take advantage of that. So you got to be careful with that as well, you know, because
Oh
some
yeah,
people will try to take advantage of your selfless service.
I agree with you. Now you got out in 2015. Now, did you have an idea that you wanted to go and sing, or when you got out? I mean, how did you make the road to making it to Nashville?
Man, I kind of fell into it. I was, you know, I've been in music my whole life. My dad's a Southern gospel singer, so I was on stage by the time, you know, from the time I was 4,
Yeah.
you know, singing harmonies and all that stuff in church really early on. And, you know, I did a lot of that growing up, but then the Army lifestyle, you know, just wasn't compatible with me spending a lot of time doing it. I mean, I was working 12 hours a day, getting a master's degree in the evenings, trying to have you know, family and all of that stuff. You know, so that's one of the things that I gave up. And so by the time I got out, I was really hungry for it again, you know, and
Yeah.
for my own therapy, I had started, you know, journaling and writing some poetry and stuff. And I wanted to pick the guitar back up. And my last deployment in Afghanistan, I was at a desk in Bagram across from this Department of State guy, and he had a guitar over the corner, and it'd be like 2 a.m. You know, and I would just pick it up sometimes, and I would strum for 9 months, you know, and start picking on some things. And then by the time I got back, you know, I was maybe a year and a half from getting out of the Army. So after that 2013 deployment, my guitar, I sort of became more of a focus of my life, you know.
Yeah.
So I started playing guitar. The poems started sounding more like song, kind of falling out of me as songs and not just poems. And then the last year I was in the Army, I wrote about 26 songs, and I was like, you know what? What the heck? I'm gonna record a record. So I chose
Nice.
11 of them, and I recorded a record. And then I was like, well, what do you do with that? Well, I guess I'll do music, you know. So, and then I went home for a couple of months, you know, and
Yeah.
I was back in North Carolina for a couple of months, and then I just kind of realized, man, if I want to do this, I got to be in Nashville. So, started coming out here, and then maybe 3 months into back and forth, and June 15th, when I first started coming out, by August, you know, I had already realized, you know, I mean, if I want to do this, this is where I got to be. So I made the move, and
All right.
here I sit.
Both feet in and plugging away, right?
Yeah, you know, sometimes our Army guys, we don't necessarily do things with like one toe in at a time. It's like jump in the deep end of the pool, and
Exactly.
you're either going to learn how to swim or you're going to grab onto the strong swimmers, but you're not going to drown.
Well, now have you been networking and finding avenues to pick you up?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, there's it's so one thing you realize once you get here is that there's a lot of talented people in this world. You know, people back home or people wherever you're at are like, man, you can write a song. That's so cool, whatever. Well, then you come here and then you realize, well, most of the people that are good at writing songs came here, and there's some people that have been here for a while, and some people are way better than you. So you just have to go to work, you know, right away. You're just like, okay, um, I'm not built to fail, so you know, I got to learn.
You gotta
So you go to work, you write a couple songs a day, learning how to write songs,
pick it
and
up,
then
learn and adapt, right?
yep.
Now, I saw in looking in your bios that you now are you working or singing in any clubs, pubs, avenues? Anybody picking up your tunes?
Yeah, so I've got, I mean, nothing that's so as of right now, my biggest claim to fame, I guess, right now, I wrote a song with a guy out of Texas named Jake Ward that he took to number one on the Texas regional country charts, which is only like a regional chart, but it's Texas, so you know that's the biggest regional country chart. That was back in like February 2018.
Very good.
And then I wrote a song with a guy named Spencer Crandall who he put that song on his record in about February or March last year as well. That one went his record went number one on iTunes for country.
Oh wow!
So that was a year ago. He's about to drop another record, which I have one on as well. So you know, hoping that he does better this time around.
Yeah.
And then my buddy Josh Gallagher, who was a finalist on The Voice, he took a song that he and I wrote together last year about this time to number one on CMT Music with the video was number one for like 5 weeks on CMT Music. And he just released another album. And so I've got that song and 3 more songs on his album as well. And then I've got another song coming out that some friends of mine, the Steel Blossoms, are releasing this coming Friday.
Yeah.
So, you know, there's a lot of stuff happening. We're just waiting for one of those people to be the biggest thing on the planet, and then I'll be in the green. You know what I mean? But until then, it's the guy that is slumming like everybody else, you know, making his way, starting at the bottom, trying to get to the top.
Exactly, and that's okay. That you know, you got to crawl before you walk, and you got to walk before you can run, right?
Yeah, man, absolutely. So I'm
unless you're like me and I run
one of those 3 things. I feel like I'm not like laying on my back. I feel like I'm at least crawling.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm walking yet, but we'll be here pretty soon.
You know, you actually impressed one of our listeners. She's the one who actually recommended you. We had a listener who sat there and she's like, "You guys, you gotta get this. You gotta look this guy up. He's a veteran." And now, how many years did you put in?
Man, let's see. I enlisted in 93 or 4, and then I got out in 15 as an officer. So I with the time backed out for college and everything. I wore a uniform for about 21 years. So straight up, and then there was some college time to the green to gold time at West Point in there as well. But yeah, man, I was.
So you did it, man. You pushed it.
Yeah.
I got a question.
Go for it, Pook.
What was your most notable unit that you served with? If you want to give a shout out real quick.
My most notable unit,
or a favorite, whatever. I mean,
yeah. So I get okay. So I'll give a shout. I'll give a shout out. So you know, it's always the guy. It's always the people. Like I commanded for 3 years at Bragg. So I'll give a shout out to anybody who's listening to the 511th Airborne, Strength from Above.
Ooh, wow.
And then, and I love those guys. And then right after that, I went to war with as a team leader of a 4-man team with 3 NCOs, an E8, an E7, and an E6, and that was Civil Affairs Team 614, Special Operations Civil Affairs Team in the 96th Civil Affairs at Fort Bragg, and we were with Task Force 373, which that was a joint task force. So I guess I'm probably closest to those guys, you know, because that was like at the lowest level.
Yeah.
You know, combat. My other combat times were combinations of ground time and you know, sleeping in a bed every night. That was like no shit, being on fobs and you know, burning your number 2, pissing in a tube, that kind of stuff, you know. So that stuff tends to build strong bonds that are like almost like a love that you know you can't even find in a romantic setting, you know. And for the guys and girls who've been there, you know what I'm talking about.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
When somebody's
Hell,
shooting at
hell
you,
yeah.
there's a love that freaking develops, like a brotherhood that's strong,
Well, that's the reason you're here, bud. Everybody's a
So
brother and a
I'll give
sister.
a shout out by name to Mark Miller, who's retired, Jeff Davis, who's retired. He was my medic, and I think Master Sergeant Chris Anderson is still in down at Bragg, Cat 614.
Well, give it then. Everybody who hears that, if those guys aren't listening, shout out to them and let them know that they've been mentioned by an up and coming country singer. and speaking
Yeah.
of person who recommended you, Miss Holly just joined the room. Miss Holly's the one who actually recommended you.
Thank you, Holly. I sent her a private message from my page today and said, "Hey, thanks for hooking this up, and I'll be on at 9." And she's like, "Yep, I know. I'll be listening." So, Holly, thank you for hooking me up with these guys.
You've got fans out there. It sounds like, and this is how you grow your base. Like I said,
I've got at least one. At least one. Got Holly.
I'm rooting for you now. I love that song, man. I heard one good song from it.
We got two, man. It's not working. Do I have a third? Anybody?
You got me, man. Because I'll tell you what. I don't know if you can be honest. Do you listen to WTF very much?
I listened to there was a couple times where I probably have only listened to bits and pieces of probably 2 podcasts. I listened to a couple of podcasts after I knew I was going to be on here.
Yeah.
But prior to that, I probably had only listened to maybe 30 minutes twice.
Okay.
Being honest.
Well, and that's fine. That's honest. You're talking to someone.
But I dug what I heard as I was prepping for this, so I've since followed it, and I'm going to listen more. So I drive a lot, and what I can do, is I can pull out.
If you drive a lot, listen to Saturday night shows. Listen to him. I'm promoting. Sorry.
Pookie's promoting his show.
Absolutely.
No.
Yeah, man. So I'm always listening, looking for podcasts, because shoot, man, when I'm on the road for 12 hours, 7 hours, or whatever. Music is cool, but like I can usually only listen to music for about 2 hours, and then I'm like, all right, I need some silence. And then after about an hour of silence, I want to find a good podcast. I like listening to Rogan.
Oh yeah, Rogan.
Yeah.
Man. You like Saturday then?
Well, the podcasts that I do, we're more about getting away from news and just talking about silly human nature and positive things. And the people that are listening to you actually like positive, and I'll give it to you. I like mellow things that are easy to listen to, and both your songs were very easy to listen to.
Thank you, man. Now, full disclosure, I do have some really deep stuff. Like I'm putting out a song for. I think I'm gonna put out another song for Mother's Day about dating a single mother, and then I'm gonna put out a song about for Father's Day that's about being a single father, and that's a pretty heavy tune.
Okay.
And then I got a really heavy one coming out, and probably Veterans Day that deals with some survivor's guilt stuff that I wrote a while back. That
I was about to ask you that actually. When do you plan on talking about your service during your songs stuff?
Yeah, so I've actually recorded one. That I want to put out. I was thinking about putting it out right before the 4th, and it's basically it's called The Cloth, and it's about the flag.
Yeah.
And it's not political. It's the most apolitical thing you could say, but and it's basically like no matter what your viewpoint is, we're all we live in a country that allows us to have that viewpoint because of that flag.
Yeah.
And so pretty much the only way that song would offend you, or if you'd be pissed off of that song, is if you don't like America. And I'm not really worried about offending those people. Everybody else, should love it if they love America. Is the way I look at it, you know.
Oh, I agree.
So
I'm with you on 100% on that one, man. Now,
yeah, and then I've got this song. I've got this song that I think that I wrote. Actually, man, it was like I didn't even realize that I had survivor's guilt. I guess until another service member here veteran here that I met. You know, I was kind of telling about this song. I'm like, man, I wrote this song like 2 years ago. You know, and it's been 3 years ago now. I said I wrote this song, well, almost 4 years ago, like when I first got to Nashville, and it's a really good song. It's like a really good song.
yeah.
But I just don't feel worthy to sing it.
Oh,
And he's like, well, who else would sing it?
yeah.
And I'm like, well, I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't want people to feel like I'm like stepping on the backs of, you know, other people, you know, like, I don't know. And I also see people here who use, you know, Memorial Day and Veterans Day and the 4th to just push their, you know, own agenda. Listen to my song I wrote about loving America or whatever. You know, and it just feels so trite to me. And I just didn't want to be seen as that, you know. But it came from a real place that the guy listened to. He's like, dude, he's like, you could help so many people with that song. You need to do it. And so I got asked to play this charity out in Fort Carson, Colorado. Not
Nice.
Fort Carson. It was Colorado Springs.
Okay.
Back in November, and they wanted me to play a couple of patriotic songs that I'd written, and this one was just super heavy, man. I was like, you know what, I'm gonna do this thing, and I did it, and it like it like shut the room up. I had generals coming up to me afterwards and like almost in tears, like, dude, like that song is heavy, you know. And then you know, having a couple drinks with those guys afterwards, I was kind of explaining to them my concerns. They're like, man, like, as a general officer, I'm telling you, like, you nobody's going to feel that way about that song. Like, you've earned the right to sing that song. You need to, the guys need to hear it. So I'm like, okay, you know, I mean, I feel like it's my calling now. So yeah, so I'm gonna try to put that out in, you know, Veterans Day, and yeah, so it's called.
I mean, everyone needs to experience some onion cutting ninjas every now and then. I think that makes us feel human. I mean, honestly.
Well, you know, do me a favor. I like what I've heard so far, and I play what I like. If you don't mind, we can promote, you know, if you make more of your songs available to us, we can put them on. We have the ability to play them during our casts. And
cool.
Now the other question is, do you have it up on iTunes? Do you have all your stuff on iTunes yet?
Yeah, man. So I'm on. Mark Addison Chandler, MarkAddison. Chandler. It's just I'm everywhere. I'm on iTunes, Spotify, Amazon Music, Apple Music, all that stuff. So
good. Well, we've got you
go
posted.
find me, I guess, and follow me on there. And as I guess when you follow those accounts, when a person puts out new music, you get identified of that. So I'm gonna try to put out new music. That fishing song that you guys played earlier will be out the 26th of April.
Okay.
And then I plan to have another one out like 3 weeks later, then a month later, then a month after that. So this summer's going to be the summer of music for me. Good. I think.
I'm glad to hear it. Now, do you have to go to a studio? Do you do studio time? Do you send someone to back you, or do you do it in your own place? How do you go about your editing and your producing?
Yeah, so I don't. I mean, I could produce, I guess, but I don't produce. I don't play any instrument well enough to be able to play what you hear. So those are Nashville cats, man. There's like the most talented songwriters in the world here, but there's also the most talented like musicians in the world. Guys that just sit in the studios all day and just like, you know, come up with new stuff all the time. So that's you know, Nashville's best, the world's best on that stuff there. And that's we do that over at a studio. Those two tunes were done in different studios, but they were done in professional studios here in town. And my buddy Davis Corley, he produces me.
Okay.
Real talented songwriter here, producer here in town.
Very nice. I'm glad to hear that you're getting the backing that you need to at least get that far, because it's not easy to get someone to be willing to put in the clock time and the lay down the money to pay for the hours that it takes to put something like that out. But for one song, how many hours does it take to just get one song put together?
Okay. So let's see. You write a song. So both of those songs. Let me think about. So that I Ain't Gone song took about probably 2.5 hours to write.
Okay.
With another guy. I think I edited it the next day, changed the second verse a little bit. So I mean, you're looking at probably a total of 3 hours of writing the song, and then whenever we decided to record it 3 years later, it was and 30 minutes of a pre-production meeting, talking about, hey, how do you want to do this and that?
Yeah.
Then it was literally walking into some cats who had never heard the song before, drummer, steel player, bass player, guitar player, keys player, and just playing a work tape, which is like a acoustic guitar with a vocal, me singing it. And then they basically, we talk about it for 5 minutes, and then everybody goes out to their spots and they play. And then everybody's like, how does that sound? And then we're like, man, I love that. And the drummer will say, let me take another pass on this. I think I can do something different. We tracked that song in probably 45 minutes.
Wow.
And then, so there was, 30 minutes of pre-production meeting, 5 minutes of talking about it. And then we tracked it in 45. And then after that, I went back and, sang a vocal. The vocals, harmonies, and everything probably took me an hour. And then, the producer sits there for, a couple hours and moves parts around, says, well, I don't want the guitar here. I want it somewhere else. And then you send it off to the mix guy, who spends maybe an hour to an hour and a half, 2 hours on it. And then it goes to a mastering guy who spends however long mastering guys spend. I don't know anything about that. And then it comes back to you. And you're like, that sounds great. Can you do a little bit more of this? And the mix guy or the master guy will adjust some levels. And then once you give the thumbs up, it's done. So I guess all that to say, the whole process takes probably for a song anywhere from, that one probably took a total of about 10 hours. Sometimes you write songs, though, that, may take 3 or 4, writes to get back on. You might sit in a room for 4 hours and write a verse and a chorus, and then you have to get back together and write the second verse and then edit the verse and the chorus. And then, maybe you decide later that it's not right and you come back to it. There's all kinds of way music's born, And then some of the songs, literally, like the one that I'm going to release on Father's Day, is one that I just woke up on a Sunday morning, and like I just had the idea. It's like God just plopped it in my lap and said, "Here, the world needs this." It was about being a single dad, which I had lived.
Yeah.
And an hour and a half later, I just wrote a song by myself. And it was done perfectly the first time, no edits. So those are very inspired ones. Whereas you work for some other ones.
Now I'm going to ask a personal question. Now, you say you're not married now. Are you single now? And are you a single father still?
Yeah, I'm a single dad. I've got a daughter and a son.
Okay.
My daughter lives with me. My son lives in North Carolina. I am not married, but I do have a girlfriend here.
Okay. All right, ladies. He's got a girlfriend.
I'm very happily in a relationship. So
good. I'm glad to hear it.
I got a question.
Go for it, Pookie.
Okay, so any aspiring veterans that want to do the whole song right, thing like that, making music, what advice would you give them?
First of all, I would give them the advice that if they don't have to do it, then don't do it. If it's something that they feel like they just need to do, it's like, man, I need to do this for whatever reason. And I don't mean like don't do it. Like if it's something you can do as a hobby, then by all means do it, because it's very helpful. But if it's something like, man, I just want to make it a career. If unless you absolutely have to, like you feel in your soul like I've got to do this to complete my life, don't. And the reason I say that is because it's a really hard road to choose for yourself, you know.
Yeah.
So I say that in a way to like steer people from, you know, going through something that's super hard. Now I'm the kind of guy who likes a challenge. So when you tell me don't do something because it's hard, I'm gonna do that. Well, that's exactly why I'm going to do it, dude. It's impossible.
Welcome to every
Okay.
specialist in the Army. You just triggered every specialist in the Army right now.
Yeah. So
don't do it.
So I wouldn't take my own advice. Like I say that, but then here I sit, you know, like making a choice to be here doing something that's way harder than Ranger School, you know, and way harder than all the other stuff that I've done that, you know, is supposedly, you know, hard stuff. And making it in the freaking music business is hard.
All right, guys, and see, I can actually see him right now, and I wish you guys could. He definitely looks the part. He's got that good old scruffy beard going on, and
man.
He definitely looks
to
like
work on a beard, man.
He looks like he's a little drug out at the moment. He's got that country look.
Yeah. So wait a minute. So did you just say that I need to work on the beard?
No, I said you
grow it out, man.
You've got that scruffy
that.
beard going.
Okay. Okay. I can respect that. I had my deployment in 2018. I had a beard that was I could grab everything on the end of it, and I had probably a fist of beard, and I had probably 2 fingers hanging out from under the beard. So I can literally grow a respectable beard, but
okay, cool.
So but for the time being, I'm just like, you know what? I don't like getting all tangled up when I sleep. You know, my girlfriend likes it better this way too. So that's always, you know, we got to always consider that, right?
Yeah, exactly. And I'm looking at the picture that you gave us, and I'm looking at your picture, and they're the same, so that's good. You know, we're really happy to have you here because, you know, it's inspiration that someone can get out and, you know, like you said, you don't have to do it. You're doing it because it's something that's in your heart and it's in your soul. You want to get songs out there. And I would look forward to the songs that you talked about where you sat there and said, you know, they're very deep. We need those songs out there. People need not just other people. Soldiers need to know that someone gets them.
Yeah.
And
so let me kind of amend my statement when you said what advice would you have to somebody? I was kind of joking when I said don't, you know, but really though, if you're trying to, you know, chase a dream of being you know, a country music singer, you know, by all means, man, if you got the talent and you got the drive, do it. I will say this though, as a hobby, if you want to write or you want to, you know, play music for a hobby, man, it's super therapeutic. I started writing and I started playing music because I didn't realize that I had issues. You know what I mean?
Oh,
and
yeah.
So like I started writing and like I realized that like I couldn't, and I still to this day, like I can sit there and I can talk to my daughter, I can talk to my mom or my girlfriend or whatever, and I don't think I'm making as much sense sometimes. But sometimes I can sit down and I can write a song and it can move them.
Yeah.
And I don't know why that is, but it allows me to communicate better. You know, like I can convey an emotion almost better in a song than I can, you know, verbally.
Well, and
which is kind of weird, you know, because I was an Army leader and I had to communicate very directly and very effectively. And I was an effective direct communicator, but when it comes to emotions,
there you go.
I don't think necessarily can do that as well. I wasn't having to communicate my emotions to soldiers. I was just like A to B in X amount of time. Roger.
Exactly.
I don't think I can do.
I'm a pro at that. I am a pro at that, and I cannot, like exactly what you said. Like I cannot convey my feelings to people sometimes.
And that's that. Believe it or not, that you're talking to someone that one of my platforms is I'm a shaman minister, and I actually talk about communication and being able to communicate what you feel, what's going on with you. That's a big problem with almost everybody, well, not everybody, most of us in the military, is we're taught you have to be able to be direct. You're taught you have to be able to say, go from point A to point B, do this, do this, do this, do this. But when it comes time to go home and sit down and the wife says, how you doing? What do you do?
Yeah, man. And the thing is like, I didn't even realize, and then the more I kind of the more I would write, I guess the more I could process it a little bit. And when it hit paper, I could maybe then start to articulate it, and then I think that's a real problem for, soldiers who can like clearly show love to, a brother in arms, because we can just bust each other's chops. And that's like a loving thing we do,
Yeah.
And then we come home and like, our wives or our families or whatever want us to, tell them what's going on. And then we don't know how to do it. So we don't. And then they're like, well, why don't you love me the way you love those guys? And like, we love them, but we just don't know how to show it to them the same way. So I would encourage any kind of art that allows people, soldiers to go, like dig inside of all that baggage and, get to those emotions so they can, start to understand what they're really feeling.
Well,
and man, honestly, I really feel like it helps us keep a freaking gun out of our mouth, to be realistic. You know what I'm saying? Like, we've got a problem with
totally agree with that.
Dealing with stuff. And man, if freaking painting a picture helps you keep a gun out of your mouth, if freaking writing a song, anything, dude, then like do that.
And I agree with you. What you're talking about is what WTF is all about.
Yeah.
We actually try to remind people every show, we're here. If you can't communicate, if you are just completely stopped up to where no words are coming and we're here. We're here to talk, and we're here to listen. We're here to say, okay, we're with you, brother. We understand, because sometimes that's all you need to do. And your songs, from what it sounds like, they hit a chord because it says, brother, I understand. I'm out here, and there's someone who says, I understand. And they're out there in music. And that you sit there and you talked about, well, I hesitated and I don't think I deserve to put it out. It's not about you deserving to put it out. It's about people needing that. And they need to be able to identify. And I think, remember that when you do that. And please, please, please send us that stuff, because that's the type of stuff I want to put on my breaks. That's the type of stuff I want people to hear, because if someone can relate to that, if someone can hear that and relate to it, you just saved one of those 22.
Yeah, man, I sure will. And dude, just to be like, to put it, if there's anybody out there listening, I try to be, like people say they, relate to my stuff, because it's not just sitting on a tailgate and talking about love that's the color of some girl's eyes or something, which is nice, but that's not real life,
No.
So I'm not, that's good music, and I'm not, and there's a purpose for that, but that's not the music that I'm called to make. I'm called to make music that's a little bit more like, what true love is. It's not just like teenage bubblegum love. It's freaking like, more real stuff. So I will tell you this, man, as a guy who's probably seems to have his shit together, talking to you guys on this podcast right now, man, I'm no different than any of these other guys that are, struggling with that stuff, man. I called DFAS about a pay issue this week. And, I call and they're like, the first thing after I go through 7 different prompts, 3, 4, 7, 6, I'm talking to some electronic thing, and I'm just like, okay, I'm cool. I'm keeping it together. And then, when they finally say like, thank you very much, your call is important to us. Your estimated wait time is 1.5 hours. Dude, I'm like sitting there like, I couldn't do it. It's like, it just triggered something in me. Like, is this I don't know what it was, but like, Yeah, man, you guys know what I'm talking about. Like little things like having to wait for DFAS for
Yeah.
you serve a whole career and they
Yep.
tell you that your call is important to you, but then you got to wait an hour and a half, or like, you know, the problems with the VA and all that stuff. So I would just say, like, you know, folks may think that I'm here in Nashville and I'm killing it and I've got, you know, I'm an aspiring country singer and stuff, but I got the same struggles everybody else has, you know. So you know, if you feel like, you know, you are alone, man, you're not alone, dude. There's so many of us who feel the same way. So we just need to communicate that with each other, you know. And I'm fortunate enough to be able to do that in a song every now and then.
And that's important. Excuse me. That's very important. Don't forget, everybody. We've posted his Facebook in the room. Go check him out. Go like and follow him. Go share it. This is stuff that we need to share to each other. These are the songs that we need to get to our brothers and sisters. It's so important to remember this stuff and to be a part of it. I can't say it enough. I try very hard to back that type of stuff up. And WTF, we're all about. We are all about promoting people who are real. And you know, guys, this guy's real. He's as real as he gets. I'm looking at him, and you know, I'm not going to be I'm not to be too much of a smartass. He's got this nasty looking couch behind him.
This is actually a chair. Hold on, let me show you. It's a chair.
Oh, it's a chair.
That is
Okay.
your best friend, isn't it?
I'm in the office, man. I'm in the office here.
That chair is your best friend.
Well, like I said, okay, so if it was totally up to me, I'm being 100% honest here. If it was totally up to me, I'd be the guy that had like 2 pieces of furniture in his apartment.
There we go.
Like I was when I was like lieutenant.
a couch, a bed, chair.
Nothing on the walls. Like there was like a pack of cheese in the fridge, that kind of stuff. But that's what women in our lives are really good about doing. Adding a little color, adding some upholstery on the chair, you know. Otherwise, I'd be sitting in like a folding chair right now that would have like duct tape on a leg. And
oh man, I love this guy. He's like me. He is me.
Except and dude, I was that guy until I was in a relationship. Seriously, like you know, like it just basic, you know.
Well, and that's just it. I mean, I love it. You're like every other one of us.
That's this guy. I got one more question. What's your favorite MRE?
My favorite MRE. Oh man, you know. You caught me off guard, dude. I've been eating good. So one thing I will say is I used to be in pretty good shape. I used to run ultra marathons and stuff like that when I was in the Army, and like I was killing it. And I've been eating good ever since I got out. So I haven't really thought about the MRE, but I will say this: I do remember the pound cakes. I loved the pound cakes and the MREs. Probably that lemon pound cake in the MRE.
Oh my god!
Oh. I could just eat those just like for like weeks and weeks on end, and I feel a problem.
All right.
I would literally take that for dessert at like a 4-star restaurant. Like if that was on the menu, I would get it.
Yeah.
There you go.
Well,
hey,
we're getting
Gordon Ramsay. If you're listening, there you go. Pound cake, lemon pound cake.
Okay, we are getting to the top of the hour.
The Ranger pudding, obviously the Ranger pudding. You know, the crackers, the cocoa, the little bit of water in there, your sugar packet, your cream.
Don't give out coffee. No. You're giving secrets out.
Nah, man, it's not proprietary, man. Ranger pudding.
Well, we are getting to the top of the hour, and I'm going to go through house cleaning. But tell you what, I really appreciate you being here. I really was impressed by your music. I'm not just saying that because you're a guest. Your songs are meaningful. The boat song, I mean, it really lit up the chat rooms. Everybody was really happy to hear that one. Keep plugging and keep WTF up with what you're doing, and come back. I mean, in 6 months after you put all these songs out, come back and tell us where they're going. Okay.
Cool, man. Yeah. So you guys have my email now, and I got yours. We'll stay in touch.
Thank you very
Definitely.
much.
And so you guys have pumped up my stuff. Let me take a moment to say thank you for what you guys are doing, man. Getting soldiers and ex-soldiers together with a purpose, so they can feel at home,
Well,
and
that
they could be in Alaska and back in their town of 6 people, and they've got the internet, and they can feel like they're back with their brothers, when these things go on. So thank you for what you guys are doing. It's very important.
Like you said, we're all brothers and sisters, and that's what we're here for. I appreciate your call, and I'll go ahead and let you close out. I'm going to go ahead and do our nightly, and give everybody a fill in and what's up and coming. But again, thank you for coming, and we love your music.
All right, brother. God bless you. Thanks for having me.
Thank you, brother.
Yeah.
All right. And we are getting to the top of the hour. So here we go. We have guests up and coming. I did like that, by the way. What do you think, Pookie?
I loved it, the whole thing. That fishing song is stuck in my head now. I keep thinking about it. I want to hear it again. So someone better send me a copy of it. I'm just saying, nonchalantly.
Yeah.
Someone better send me a copy of it.
Okay. We have guests up and coming. We have the 8th of April, which is tomorrow, a Christopher Martina. Christopher will be on the talk about his first feature film, Trooper, which is about a returning Iraq war veteran. The film earned Chris the Renaissance Man Award at the 2011 Garden State Film Festival, and it has gathered the music support of Bruce Springsteen and Bob Dylan. Chris was the writer, director, and star. The film received a glowing review in the Huffington Post by Joshua Kors, award-winning journalist of veterans issues. Trooper was picked up for distribution and is available on iTunes, Amazon, Xbox, Sony PlayStation, and VOD across North America. Then we have a guest, excuse me, on the 11th. We have a Major Andrew D. Fisher. And Major Fisher will be on to talk about Stop the Bleed and to educate the importance of stopping the bleeding in trauma. He will also be talking about some of the advances that have been a part of combat trauma medicine. He joined the Army in 1992 as an infantryman. He successfully completed the regimental indoctrination program and was subsequently assigned to the 1st Battalion 75th Ranger Regiment in 1993. While assigned to 1st Battalion 75th Ranger Regiment, he completed an emergency medical technician EMT course and discovered his desire to work in the medical field. And then we are on to the 14th, next Sunday. Or next Sunday? Is that next Sunday? It sure is. We have Richard Jellison from Storyteller Original Films. Storyteller's owner and principal creator, Richard Jellison, will be on to talk about his recent project, The Healing, Pan American Flight 001. After growing up in Southern California, Richard served 2 years in Vietnam as an Army helicopter pilot. The first tour was combat with the 116th Assault Helicopter Company. His second tour, he served as General Abrams' personal pilot. 4-star General Abrams replaced General Westmoreland as military commander of all forces in Vietnam. He received a Bachelor of Business from Cal State University, Los Angeles, 1975, and then did a year of law before gravitating toward addressing a compelling thirst to be creative. And then on the 18th, we have a Pete Barlow. With its humble beginnings in a basic training issued notebook, The Adventures of G.I. Lowe chronicles the day-to-day highs and lows of a modern American soldier. From a recruiting station in the suburbs of Chicago to a cubicle in Afghanistan, the comic strip demonstrates that wherever you are, whatever you are, do it always important to keep a sense of humor. Gregory Ian G.I. Lowe was born in Michigan. He's a Libra and likes imagining himself as a superhero instead of doing his job in the Army. Okay, and then let's go on to house cleaning. We have a show most every day of the week. We have Mondays with Monday edition with Ice and Flash. We have they talk about current events. We have Tuesdays with Tied Up Tuesdays with Minx and Radar, and then Wednesdays is our Donza or Meditation Day. Thursday is Sergeant's Time with Ice and Spanky. Friday, right now we don't have anything in showing up, but it's in the works. Saturday is Tinfoil Times with Jay Reddy and Pookie and Mulder. Right now it's on a small hiatus. They will be back. And then Sunday is Kicking It with Kaz. And I'm Al. Kaz is off for the day, saving cats and dogs and other such things. So Pookie joined in with me. We have, yeah. We have broadcasting partners. We have the Veterans Report, which started out in 2016 as a website and then launched into a terrestrial radio in the Pittsburgh region, and has been going on since then. It just recently is on hiatus, but is going to be coming back. And then we have War Horses for Veterans. War Horses for Veterans is a 3-day equine and networking experience. Veterans will have the opportunity to bond with horses as well as each other in a safe and comfortable country environment. War Horses for Veterans provides veterans a peaceful break from everyday life challenges, giving them a chance to have quality time to clear their minds, share stories in a judgment-free space, and enjoy some of the best food in the Midwest. War Horses for Veterans' commitment to combat veterans goes beyond a weekend experience. They introduce you to a network of people able and willing to support you long after the uniform comes off, all in the spirit of community. This experience costs $0 for the veteran. Everything from airfare to lodging, all meals and transportation are taken care of. So please visit them at www.warhorsesforveterans.com to learn more. Those of you who follow us, please let people know we are available on TuneIn app, YouTube, Mixer, Twitter, Instagram, and just search for WTF Nation Radio and you'll find us. All of our shows are available for download at www.wtfnr.com. And that's our show, guys. It was a very good show. I enjoyed having everyone here. Thank you for showing up. Thank you again for showing up, Pookie.
Oh yeah.
keeping you going there. And please, everybody, check out Mark Addison, and please, of course, check out WTF Nation. Keep us going. Like, share, follow us, and that's it for our show. You got any words of wisdoms, Pookie?
Do or do not. There is no try, Master Yoda.
Okay. And my words of wisdom are very simple. Keep it simple. Keep it real. And remember, we all make mistakes. The wise person learns from them. All right, guys. Y'all have a good one. I'll talk to y'all later. Shots.
Before coffee on a Tuesday, it's already been a bad week. My girls had a couple flats, and my dishwasher sprung a leak. From the kitchen, her complaining, you know it just ain't cute anymore. I get the itch and start to drift towards the great outdoors. I smell the honeysuckle blooms, I can see the red buds too. In my garage, I got rods up on the wall. I got a John boat in the yard under a faded camo tarp. I need a reset to my spot. I hear the call. Just gone fishing. Let her know that I ain't gone. junk mail don't come out there. My phone won't ring. The only thing I want to hear is my reel with a big one on the string. That large mouth don't talk at all, and my weight just sinks away. Set him free, bring him home. One decision I gotta make. I smell the honeysuckle blooms. I can see the red buds too. In my garage, I got rods up on the wall. I got a John boat in the yard under a faded camo tar. I need a reset to my spot. I hear the call. Just gone fishing. Let her know that I ain't gone. I got my tackle box in the front seat and my best friend in the bed. Don't come looking for me, 'cause I ain't coming home till long after that sunset. I smell the honeysuckle blooms. I can see the red buds too. I got the rods in my garage down on the wall. Threw my John boat in the truck, filled my camo cooler up. I hit the reset, hit my spot, and heeded that call. I just gone fishing, let her know that I ain't gone. No, I ain't gone missing, I just gone fishing, let her know that I ain't gone.